with respect to salary type. And we also get the joint probabilities out here, okay? So the conditional probabilities that we would get would be something else. And this time the conditional probabilities that would be conditioned, okay, would be conditioned on salary. Okay? Whereas over here the conditional probabilities are conditioned on knowing that the person, the amount of work that the person's done. So let's construct these trees. Okay, let's take the first one. I'll do it a little bit more. I'll enlarge it out a little bit. Okay, so let's do the first one, which is work experience, and let's use our table. Yeah, okay, that we have here. Let me just get some let's say fresh paper here, so that I don't have too many. Let's say that we don't have too many marks on this. All the dots, the ink is sort of going through there. Okay, so let's just get some paper here. Okay, so my work experience tree has 3 branches. So I have work experience. Okay, there's 3 branches. I either do 3 hours work experience, okay, I do 6 hours work, or I do 9 hours work. So each one of these now represents the marginal probabilities. This would be the probability that the person selected does 3 hours work. Okay, this here would be the probability that the person selected does 6 hours work, and this here would be the probability that the person selected does 9 hours work. 3 individual probabilities, which are marginal probabilities, are simple events. So let's calculate these. So the probability that the person selected does 3 hours work is, well, how many people do 3 hours work? So you can see that the total number of people that do 3 hours work, that's 22. It's a marginal count relative to the 160. So the answer here is 22 out of 160. So we have 22 over 160 is the marginal probability. That's the likelihood of selecting somebody that does 3 hours work. With respect to 6 hours work, you can see that, well, the total number of people that do 6 hours is 100. So it's another marginal count relative to 160. So in this case, we have, it's 100 over 160. Okay. And then finally, we have 9 hours work. We have 38 choices out of 60. So this gives us 38 chances out of 160, okay, which is the probability that they do 9 hours work. And now we could actually have a look at these marginal probabilities. Yeah, okay, they're mutually exclusive as well. You either do this amount or this amount or this amount. There's no overlap. So we can actually have a look as well at let's say calculation of probabilities where we have to use, we're interested in what's the probability, okay, that the person does 3 hours or the person does 9 hours. Yeah, well, you're either on this branch or this branch. They're mutually exclusive. There's no overlap. Okay, so that would be equal to 22 over 160 plus 38 over 160, okay, which gives us a total of, well, that gives us 60, yeah, over 160, okay, choices, which is 6 over 16, which is 3. You've got 3 in 8 chances, yeah, of selecting someone that does 3 hours or 9 hours. But anyway, with that said, we're not really at this video isn't about calculating these compounded probabilities. Okay, we're interested just simply in our probability trees and doing the marginal probabilities and the joint probabilities, and followed by the conditional guys. Okay, so let's have a look at that. So these are our marginal ones now, but don't forget each one of these branches off into 3 separate branches. Okay, so let's say the first branch is that you're on 25,000 euros. The next branch is that you're on 30,000 euros, and the next branch is that you're on let's say 35,000 euros. Okay, so that's 35,000 euros. So this event here, okay, this event here is a joint event. So it's if I'm here, what I know is it's 3 hours and they're on 25,000 euros. So this here is the probability. Okay, this is the probability that the person selected, yeah, okay, does 3 hours and the person selected is on 25. Okay, so if we have a look at this from our contingency table, how many people do 3 hours and are on 25,000 euros? Okay, well, 3 hours and 25,000. You can see that we're inside the contingency table. There's 12 people out of 160. So this probability here is 12 out of 160. Okay. This probability here is we're on the 3 hours and the 30,000 euros. So this is the probability that the person selected does 3 hours and 30. This probability here is that the probability selected does, the person selected does 3 hours and they're on 35,000, which gives us Do two of them. How many people do 3 hours and 30,000 euros? 3 hours and 30,000 euros is 7 of them. So that gives us 7 chances in 160. How many do 3 hours and 35,000 euros? Well, there's 3 of them, which gives us 3 chances out of 160. And you can see the way this is going to grow. We have now our 3 additional probabilities here. On this, it's 6 hours and 25,000 euros, 6 hours and 30,000 euros, 6 hours and 35,000 euros, giving us a probability that x is equal to 3 and x is equal to 20. Sorry, x is equal to 6 and x is equal to 25. The probability that x is equal to 6 and x is equal to 30. Okay, and this is the probability that x is equal to 6 and x is equal to 35, giving us 3 probabilities. So let's have a look at them. So they do 6 hours and 25,000 euros. So here's the 6 hours and 25,000 euros here. There's 24 out of 160. 24 out of 160. They do